Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to your premier news broadcast, where we're diving headfirst into the political firestorm rocking Washington tonight. This is a special edition, and oh boy, do we have a blockbuster story for you. At the epicenter of this chaos is none other than President Donald Trump, who's locked in a high-stakes showdown with former Senate GOP leader Mitch McConnell from Kentucky, alongside a handful of other Republicans he's slapped with the disloyal label. The battleground? A contentious emergency declaration to impose tariffs on Canada. Yes, Canada, our friendly neighbor to the north and one of America's biggest trading partners. Buckle up, folks, because this is about to get wild. It all erupted early this Wednesday morning when President Trump, never one to shy away from a fight, stormed onto his favorite megaphone, Truth Social, with a post that could wake up a coma patient. In his own fiery words, he called on senators to hopefully climb aboard the Republican bandwagon for a change and fight tooth and nail against the Democrats' wild, reckless, and downright flagrant push to let Canada off the hook for flooding our country with massive, unthinkable amounts of fentanyl. His plan? Hit them where it hurts. Tariffs tied directly to the value of this deadly, soul-destroying drug, designed to jack up the costs for those who dare to distribute it and those desperate enough to buy it. It's a bold, brash, and some might say brilliant move, but it's got the political world buzzing like a beehive poked with a stick. Now, let's zoom in on the targets of Trump's wrath. This wasn't some vague rallying cry. No, sir. The president named names, pointing the finger squarely at McConnell, the longtime GOP power broker from Kentucky, as well as Senators Susan Collins from Maine, Lisa Murkowski from Alaska, and Rand Paul, also hailing from the bluegrass state. Trump didn't hold back, folks. He warned that any senator who doesn't stand tall against the Democrats' resolution is playing a dangerous game with the lives of the American people, practically handing a golden ticket to the radical left Democrats and the ruthless drug cartels tearing our communities apart. Those are fighting words, delivered with the kind of intensity that's become Trump's trademark, and they're landing like a thunderclap in the Senate chambers. But here's where the plot twists like a primetime drama. This whole showdown is a direct response to a cunning move by Senator Tim Kaine, the Democrat from Virginia, who earlier this week rolled out a resolution to slam the brakes on Trump's emergency declaration and stop those tariffs on Canada dead in their tracks. The vote's happening today, Wednesday, April 2, 2025. Yes, today, folks, and the tension is thicker than a fog bank over the Potomac. Trump, never one to sit quietly, fired back with both barrels, claiming the House of Representatives will never ever approve this resolution. And then Trump got personal because of course he did. In a tone that could melt steel, he asked, "What's wrong with these people, other than suffering from Trump derangement syndrome, commonly known as TDS, that affliction that seems to cloud the judgment of anyone who dares cross me? Who in their right mind could want this tragedy to befall our beautiful, hard-working families, and why on earth would they let it happen?" It's a rhetorical gut punch, folks, aimed straight at the heartstrings of his base and anyone else who's listening. The man knows how to stir the pot, and he's cooking up a storm tonight. This isn't the first time Trump sounded the alarm on this issue either. Just earlier this week, he took to the digital airwaves to warn that letting Kaine's resolution pass would be nothing short of devastating. Not just for the Republican Party but for the entire United States of America. Major progress is being made, folks, tremendous progress, he posted on Tuesday. Don't let the Democrats snatch a victory from the jaws of defeat. It's a plea, a command, and a battle cry all rolled into one, showing that Trump is all in on this fight no matter the odds. Let's step back and look at the bigger picture here because this is about more than just a Senate vote. The Trump administration is gearing up to unleash a sweeping tariff agenda that's got the world watching. We're talking 25% tariffs on certain goods coming from Canada, China, and Mexico, set to take effect today, Wednesday, yes, the very same day as this Senate showdown. Trump's dubbed it Liberation Day, a name that's dripping with symbolism, and he's throwing in reciprocal taxes to sweeten the deal. His justification? It's a two-pronged attack. First, to supercharge American manufacturing and bring jobs back to our shores. Second, to put the squeeze on nations he says have done next to nothing to stop the flood of drugs like fentanyl from crossing our borders and poisoning our communities. It's a high-stakes gamble, folks, and it's splitting opinions faster than a logger splits wood. Over in the Senate, Majority Leader John Thune from South Dakota is riding shotgun with Trump on this one. He's been rallying his GOP colleagues to shoot down Kaine's resolution with all they've got. On Tuesday, Thune laid it out plain and simple. If we're serious about ending the fentanyl crisis in America, and we'd better be serious, folks, we need to tackle the whole blasted thing, not just nibble around the edges. Killing this emergency declaration would be like sending a neon sign to the cartels saying, "Hey, shift your focus to the northern border, we're wide open." It's a stark warning, echoing the White House's tough-on-drugs stance, and it's got some senators nodding in agreement. But hold the phone, not everyone's singing from the same hymn sheet. Senators Susan Collins, Rand Paul, and Tom Tillis from North Carolina have been waving red flags, sounding the alarm about the economic fallout these tariffs could rain down on our northern neighbor. Canada's not just a trading partner, it's a lifeline for countless American businesses, and these senators are worried about the ripple effects: higher prices, disrupted supply chains, maybe even job losses. It's a classic clash of priorities, folks: security versus stability, and it's tearing a rift right through the Republican ranks at a moment when unity couldn't be more critical. Trump, never one to leave the fight to the politicians alone, took his case straight to the American people, because that's how he rolls. In a full-throated call to action, he urged the voters of Kentucky, Alaska, and Maine to pick up their phones, flood their senators' offices with calls, and demand they finally, at long last, adhere to the rock-solid values and ideals of the Republican Party. He didn't pull punches, blasting McConnell, Collins, Murkowski, and Paul as extremely difficult to deal with and unbelievably disloyal. Not just to him but to Majority Leader John Thune and the entire GOP machine. His closing line? A thunderous, "Make America Great Again," that's still echoing across the heartland. Stay glued to your screens because this story is far from over. From Washington, this is your news anchor signing off for now. Good night, and we'll be back with every twist and turn of this explosive political saga. Don't touch that dial.